Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Exoneration on hold. Shock and sadness for a family that traveled to Southeast Michigan ready to celebrate the release of a man imprisoned for someone else's crimes. Topping our news at 6, this story goes back to 2006 when someone sexually assaulted a 13-year-old girl and attempted to assault a 15-year-old girl near a liquor store on Finkel in Detroit.
Yeah, the victims each picked Terrence Calhoun out of separate lineups. Then in 2007, he pled no contest to charges including first-degree criminal sexual conduct and kidnapping.
Calhoun received a sentence of 15 to 30 years, but recently, DNA evidence has indicated the crimes were committed by someone else, another man who is now facing charges.
And today was really supposed to be the day Terrence Calhoun and his family celebrated his release from prison in Whitmore Lake. It didn't happen. Priya Mann is live near the prison to explain why. Priya?
Hey, Sandra and Devin, everything was going as planned until a Detroit police officer showed up claiming he had new evidence. Now, he knows the judge and tried talking to her. Of course, that's not how the process works. And keep in mind, DNA evidence has cleared this man. Instead, tonight, he remains in jail. His heartbroken family had traveled from Tennessee to be here. Instead of a tearful reunion, tears of anguish as their loved one remains behind bars.
Extremely disappointed for Mr. Calhoun, and as you can see, his family is absolutely devastated.
The hearing to formally exonerate Terrence Calhoun.
Mr. Calhoun, do you solemnly swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Was upended by a Detroit police officer who showed up and said,
The judge, you've got to look at this before you dismiss this case. You have to look at this evidence here.
Judge Kelly Ramsey says she knows the cop. They worked on the Innocence Lost task force together for years. She said the officer tried giving her a binder before being told to leave.
This is highly inappropriate for the Detroit Police Department to go behind the prosecutor's back. And I just want to apologize to Mr. Calhoun and his family who traveled in from out of state.
I think this is a police officer who just didn't like the way that things went down and felt that the prosecutor was making the wrong decision.
In 2007, Calhoun pleaded no contest in 2 sexual assault cases involving young teen girls. But DNA evidence and a lengthy investigation cleared him in both cases. Like Calhoun's legal team, the National Organization of Exonerees was left stunned.
I thought about it if it would have been me when I was exonerated, being postponed a week. My heart was already beating. I was anticipating the family. Like, this horrible. It's just a horrible feeling. It brought back a feeling that, what if?
As the family was outside here crying, officials finally let 2 family members inside to talk to Terrence Calhoun. The case has been adjourned till next week. That's when we expect to hear from the prosecutor's office. Meanwhile, Detroit police is not happy tonight. They released a statement saying, in part, the events that unfolded in court today were outside of the Detroit Police Department policy and are not how the administration expects our investigators to act. The officer did not adhere to our policy or procedures to prevent such a situation. Reporting live in Whitmore Lake, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Yeah, definitely a dramatic turn of events today. Thank you, Priya.
Mother Nature appears ready to call her version of an intentional walk here.
Yeah, rain arriving really at the worst time for baseball. Paul, what's the very latest?
I'd call it a balk, Devin. What do you think?
There you go.
Yeah,
sure.
We're in agreement. It's a balk. You can see the tarp is on the field, and with good reason. And right now, temperatures are not very pleasant either. We have temperatures that are in the mid to upper 40s to low 50s in spots. Detroit's at 53 degrees. Fortunately, the wind is not too strong, generally at 5 to 10 miles per hour. All right, here's Storm Tracker 4, and we have it zoomed in. Now, if we didn't have any rain in the area, you could actually see Comerica Park here, but there is rain in the area, so let's just kind of keep widening out this view, and we're just going to keep bringing her out. And you can see the showers here in Wayne County, and then as you extend farther to the west here, you can see that we have a lot more in the way of rain back to the west. This stuff is all going to be coming in during the night. There is a bit of a break where it's scattered, but remember, this game is not until an hour from now, so I think it's going to be slim pickings to try and get in a baseball game tonight. But then we have at least the weekend to talk about. It's going to be spectacular. We'll talk about it in just a few.
Paul, so that forecast means fans facing rather long odds of witnessing history at Comerica Park tonight.
Yeah, but you know what? This is still Detroit, so you know people will show up just for that chance to see Miggy's 3,000th hit.
Bernie, we've seen Miggy hit a home run in snow flurries, so why not another milestone among a few sprinkles?
Well, I have to tell you, I've been a meteorologist for about 35 minutes, and I agree with Paul. It is just, there you go. I just stuck my hand out from the Tigers' dugout, and it is picked up, and it is raining heavily at this moment. We've got highlights of Miguel Cabrera. Came out and took batting practice about 45 minutes ago. There it is. But shortly after this, they picked up all the equipment. They took it inside, and they covered the field. So the chances of a game, not very good. Eric Haas told us that the atmosphere, though, around this team is very good.
We're just kind of going off Miggy, however he's feeling about it, and he's been feeling great about it. It's just kind of business as usual. I think the home run chase was a little bit more taxing. Chasing homers is completely different than chasing a hit. But I mean, Miggy's in his environment right now. He's been having good ABs, so I think it'll be tonight.
All right. He hopefully is a better weatherman than myself or Paul Gross if he thinks it's going to happen tonight. But we never know. We'll be back in about 15, 20 minutes with more, including manager A.J. Hinch. Kids, back to you in the studio.
We're applying for your AMS seal.
Yeah, we're working on it right now.
Yep. All right, Bernie.
Thanks, Bernie.
Macomb County man is charged after allegedly hiding cameras inside a gym. 40-year-old Brian Makraborski is accused of hiding a camera in the ceiling grate of the gym's tanning bed area. This happened February 23rd on North Main Street in Plymouth. Police say the camera was used to record a 24-year-old Westland woman. Makraborski was, I'm struggling with the name. Makraborski was already on probation for a similar crime that happened in 2020. That was in Shelby Township. Bond set at $100,000.
Today, hundreds gathered at a Grand Rapids church to honor the life of 26-year-old Patrick Lyoya. Earlier this month, Lyoya, a black man, was shot and killed by a police officer. It happened during a traffic stop in Grand Rapids. Lyoya declined to get back into his car as he was ordered. There was a short foot chase. It ensued before that deadly struggle. Those who went to the funeral today asked for change while also demanding answers for the shooting.
It's trouble when you can shoot people in the head and remain anonymous. Don't ask them, are they going to be violent? Give us the name of the one that was violent.
The officer, whose name has not yet been released by officials, is on paid leave and is also the subject of an internal investigation by Michigan State Police. So far, though, no charges have been brought against him.
Since last fall, you may have seen a few new faces on the side of a landmark downtown building. A mural that's actually an ad for Rocket Mortgage covering up the whales on the Broderick Tower, visible from Comerica Park. With the Tigers season officially underway, more people are taking notice of that. As Grant Herms shows us, they're not happy about it.
Broderick Tower is an iconic part of Detroit's skyline, especially if you catch a Tigers game, and so is the art on this side. But that art is now part of a controversy 30 stories tall. Broderick Tower is sometimes known as the Whale Building because of the Wailing Wall mural that's been on the northeast side of the building since 1997. The artist behind the whales is Madison Heights native Robert Weiland, but it was covered by a Rocket Mortgage ad featuring the smiley faces that are now up around town, an original piece by the Detroit artist Philip Simpson. Online, pushback against the new ad has been swift, as people have been attending and tuning into Tigers games where the tower is visible. Writing online, R.I.P. Whale Building. Another saying, I will never forgive Rocket Mortgage for covering up the whales. And even one writing, disgusting. Fans have even brought signs into recent games to get their message on TV.
We're just kind of curious what it was, what it was supposed to mean. And from where we were walking, it was hard to see at the top that it was Rocket.
The Burkowskis, who have a 28-game package, say they were just talking about the mural on the way in.
I didn't like the whales at first, but I got used to it because I always wondered, well, like we have so many whales here in Detroit, so it really makes a lot of sense, but now I miss it a little bit.
Yeah. And the city of Detroit's Corporation Council is also locked in legal action right now, hoping to get the smiley faces removed or moved to another location. That is currently in front of the state Supreme Court, meaning this skyscraping art is also reaching the highest levels of our court system. In downtown Detroit, Grant Herms, Local 4.
All right, Grant. Today is Earth Day, an annual effort to encourage everyone to do more to try to protect the planet. Experts say it's also a matter of protecting ourselves, as a growing body of research finds climate change is having serious and wide-ranging impacts on people as well. The health of our planet and our own health are inextricably connected. The pains of the earth already affecting people in countless ways. Some are obvious, starting with an increase in extreme weather, says meteorologist Paul Gross.
As the planet warms, it's like putting the atmosphere on steroids, and these storms are producing more rain, and these intense rain events are becoming more frequent.
That's led to what was once considered 100-year floods happening on a semi-regular basis with devastating consequences. More intense heat is also taking a toll, with higher rates of heat exhaustion and heat stroke. As our Grant Herms revealed, the city of Detroit suffers from a heat island effect, with excess miles of concrete and asphalt trapping heat from the sun, putting people's health at risk.
Those overpaved surfaces really heat up the neighborhoods that have less green space in them, and so depaving is one of the ways that we can help combat that.
Some changes are harder to spot. For example, rising temperatures have increased the range of ticks and the risks from Lyme disease. On a global scale, pollution is raising the rates of numerous health problems, including cancer, asthma, and heart disease. Even concern about climate change is causing anxiety, especially for younger people who worry the damage being done to the planet will have dire consequences down the road. Really all the more reason to get involved now, and you can also learn more about local efforts to help the planet right now at clickondetroit.com/Earth Day.